All right, I'm going to read a few chapters out of the Tao Te Ching since we just went over that. It's a great introduction here that I will share with you at another time. Pretty much what same thing that I said when I was going over the, Taoism. Okay. All right. 1. The Tao that can be described is not the eternal Tao. The name that can be spoken is not the eternal name. The nameless is the boundary of heaven and earth. The named is the mother of creation. Freed from desire, you can see the hidden mystery. By having desire, you can only see what is visibly real. Yet mystery and reality emerge from the same source. This source is called darkness. Darkness born from darkness, the beginning of all understanding. So you see here where we talked about darkness being one of the images in which one can experience the Tao here, okay? Being free from desire, which is a theme that we're finding, for those who have been consistently watching, that we find in these Eastern philosophies or religions. And you see here, the Tao, if it can be described, it ain't it. If it can be, if it's a name that can be spoken, it is not it. Okay. Free from desire, you can see the hidden mystery. Once you are free from desire. But by having desire, you can only see what is visibly real. Yet mystery and reality, once again, emerge from the same source. And what is that source? Darkness. The beginning of all understanding, all possibility, all life, the Tao. 2. When people see things as beautiful, ugliness is created. When people see things as good, evil is created. Being and non-being produce each other. Difficult and easy complement each other. Long and short define each other. High and low oppose each other. Fore and aft follow each other. Therefore the master can act without doing anything and teach without saying a word. Things come her way and she does not stop them. Things leave and she lets them go. She has without possessing and acts without any expectations. When her work is done, she takes no credit. That is why it will last forever. Now you're going to see she in this particular one here. Let me see where they talk about it. When he is referring to the sage or the master. Here, let me see. Where did I see it? Y'all be patient. Okay. Yeah, I'm reading in this intro here. So when you hear me say she, it's referring to a sage or master. Most translations refer to the sage or master as being exclusively masculine in gender. But MacDonald, this is one of the author, John H. MacDonald, the author of the translation presented here. Okay, he consulted a number of different versions of the text in an attempt to find a consensus between them and produce a definitive translation of this ancient Chinese classic. Most translations refer to sage or master as being exclusively masculine in gender, but MacDonald chose the feminine because a master is aware of both, but chooses the least likely of the two. What would be the least likely of the two? Obviously, the feminine. As the following verse shows. Here's one of the verses, chapter 28. Know the masculine. but keep to the feminine and become a watershed to the world. Okay, so when you are hearing me read some of these and you hear she, that is reference to, you know, a sage or a master. Okay, when people see things as beautiful, we create. In other words, if you see something that's beautiful, then obviously ugliness is going to be created. You know, you have both. Remember the yin and the yang. Okay, like he is saying here, being and non-being produce each other, difficult and easy complement each other, long and short define each other, high and low oppose each other, before and after follow each other. The yin and the yang, opposite but complementary. If you see something as good, then evil is created just in that alone. Just seeing something as good, just seeing something as beautiful, then ugliness is therefore created. Okay. Now remember this idea of Wu Wei. What was Wu Wei when we went over that? Okay, Wu Wei, W-U-W-E-I-E. W-U-W-E-I. Okay, effortlessness. Okay. Acting by not acting, do by not doing. Okay. The master accomplishes much without doing anything. For those who practice not doing, everything will fall into place. That goes so much against our, a Western cultural way of thought. It's not about one being right or wrong. The master can act without doing anything. Teach without saying a word. Things come her way, she doesn't stop them. She didn't stop things from coming her way. Things leave, she lets them go. She has without possessing anything. That reminds me of a time I was in years ago. I was living in Memphis, Tennessee. I went to Starbucks to do some writing, and man, it was some music playing. It was a piano piece. It was so beautiful. I just looked up and I just was listening to it. It hit my soul a certain kind of way, and I just started crying. Tears just started flowing just out of nowhere. And I was going to go up front and ask what it was, because I figured it was one of the CDs that they sell. And something said, no, don't. You don't need to possess it. Just be here in the experience of it. And I let it go. Act without any expectations. And when she's done, when her work is done, she takes no credit. And that's why it will last forever, because she does not credit it to herself. She does not take from it. Mine, all mine. I did it. Me. And that's why it will last forever. 3, if you overesteem talented individuals, people will become overly competitive. If you overvalue possessions, people will begin to steal. Do not display your treasures, or people will become envious. The master leads by emptying people's minds, filling their bellies, weakening their ambitions, and making them become strong. Preferring simplicity and freedom from desires, avoiding the pitfalls of knowledge and wrong action. For those who practice not doing, everything will fall into place. If you overesteem talented individuals, give them too much praise, too much glory, okay, then what happens? People become competitive. I think we definitely see a lot of that. Put too much value on possessions. Remember what we just went over about possessing it, not possessing. But we're talking about possessions, things, material things. What people will begin to steal? They're overly competitive, jealous, envious. Okay. You got it. I want it because you got it. You're not better than me. I'm going to take what you got. Don't let the world know everything you have. or everything you are, or what people become envious. The master leads by emptying people's minds, filling their bellies, weakening their ambitions, and making them become strong, preferring simplicity and freedom from desires. It takes a lot of strength to prefer simplicity and freedom from desires. Letting desires go and not constantly giving in to them. Avoiding the pitfalls of knowledge. Once again, remember when we went over Taoism, what they said about knowledge. Okay, put an end to your troubles, honey. Quit all that learning. Like that scripture says, that forever searching for knowledge. And is that what it is? I can't remember. Man, let me see if I can find it. Sorry, y'all. But there is a scripture in the Bible that makes reference to that. Okay. Let me see. Here, 2 Timothy 3:7. Always learning, but never able to come to the knowledge of the truth. Okay. Avoid the pitfalls of knowledge. Avoid always learning and never able coming to a knowledge of the truth. For those who practice not doing, everything will fall into place. And I'll read one more, 4. The Tao is like an empty container. It can never be emptied and can never be filled. Infinitely deep. It is the source of all things. Remember. It dulls the sharp, unties the knotted, shades the lighted, and unites all of creation with dust. It is hidden but always present. I do not know who gave birth to it. It is older than the concept of God. Interesting. It's like an empty container, the Tao. It is formless. It can never be emptied. It can never be filled. It is formless. It is infinitely deep. It has no end. It is the source of all things. Remember, all things come from the Tao. All things are manifestations of the Tao. It dulls the sharp, unties the knotted, shades the lighted, and it unites all of creation with dust. It is nothing. I said that. It is nothing. It is hidden, yet is always present. I don't know who gave birth to it yet, but it is older than the concept of God. It is not God. All right. Maybe we'll read more of those as time goes on. You all be blessed. Have a wonderful evening. Peace.